This is amazing. So, I was driving home from work and I was watching a YouTube video, and I remembered that I had this thought. And then, right when I remembered the thought, I lost the thought. And then I get home and I'm in the middle of really getting home and figuring out what I should do. So, I scroll through YouTube to see if there's any videos that would inspire me or just to get off. And a title by Accepting the Universe says uh, something like, where you're going matters less than who you are and how you get there, or something like that. And this is exactly the thought. It might not be, actually. There might be another thought that I had waiting for me, but this is definitely one that is crucial to talk about. And it's a thought that crossed my mind today. I had a very good day at work. And a reason for this is because I greeted people and I had conversations with people, and I guess I made people feel good during the day. I can't know that for sure, but in conversations we were smiling. It seemed like it was going well. It was going mutually encouraging. And so during the day, at some point, I had the thought that it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter what your goals are. It doesn't matter where you are today. What matters is how you respond, how you attack, how you interact, how you go about the world. Like, at the end, if you could imagine, you're standing before God. What is that like? What does that room look like? Guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what heaven looks like, because the midst, the essence, the spirit of the world is not physical. It's not money. It's not a building. And there are things that I like. I like architecture. I like art. But at the end of the day, that matters way less than how you're achieving that art or how you're experiencing the people in your life. And this is a deep, deep thought, and it matters more than anything else I will probably ever say or think, or outside of actually walking out this idea in its fullest. And the idea is, are you full of love, of service, of humility? The things you want are stupid because you want it out of pride and ego. If you would be humble, you would realize you don't even need to want anything. And even if you do, it doesn't matter, because it's about how you exist. And this is serious. Like, how do you serve people? How do you show up for people? How do you do your job? Do you do it with diligence? And this is something we have to understand in order to act out. You have to remind yourself in the morning, okay, good morning. Good morning, God. Why am I alive today? It's not so that you can go to that specific place and make that specific connection. It's so that you can interact lovingly with everyone you come across, and even yourself, especially yourself. If you can't love yourself, you can't love others. And this is a deep thought that I had today at work, because I was having a great day. Why was I having a great day? I'm just making coffee, like, I'm not achieving my goals. I'm just making coffee. Why was it a great day? Because I interacted with people, and it was mutually, or I was serving them at least. They weren't really serving me, I guess, in a way, because they pay for me to survive, in a sense. But yeah, it was amazing, because at the end of it, I'm making this thing for them, and they're coming to me for something, and I can give them something. That's a beautiful thing. And even on a basic level, we're having conversation, we're interacting with each other respectfully. And this is this is what I'm saying. Like, how are you doing those things? How are you treating people? How are you pursuing life? Because that's the thing, like, anything could happen to us. There are people in Gaza who are in the middle of war. Their life is more terrifying than ours in the Western world, for the most part, I would assume. But there are even people here. They're being trafficked, or just, I don't know, they may be paralyzed. There may be like so many things that happen to individuals. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what happens to you in the flesh. It's about how you just exist in the midst of those trials, in the midst of joy. You know, like, whether you're poor or you're rich. If you're rich, like, what good is it to like spend that money on rude things, on evil things? What good is it to spend it on generosity? Yes, that's all it is. That's the only decision. Jesus, how do I inherit the kingdom of God? I've done all of the commands. Sell everything you have and give to the poor. No, that's it then. You don't get heaven, because heaven is love and service from yourself, from whatever you have to offer. It's not, oh, you have money, you don't get heaven. No, you can get heaven with and have money. It's about your heart and your service with that thing. If you think money is more important than heaven, you're not getting heaven. And if you're poor, right, you could be a lot of poor people, a lot of homeless people are very grateful, because when you don't have a home, like, the things that you're given are more special, and you're just more grateful for every little thing that you have. Are you, in the midst of that, obviously it's tough, but are you stealing? You're homeless, but you're stealing? Are you homeless and you're just waiting for a meal, and you're blessing people that give you money? Like, it's not where you are, it's how you get there. It's who you are. It's who you're becoming in the process. It's becoming a strong man, a strong human being, a reliable, responsible. It's serious. It's not like, yeah, I think that could change your whole view of life, and it should. Like, I'm always thinking about what I'm trying to pursue, but something I've realized this past few days is just looking back on the last year. God has brought me places, and there's nothing almost I can do about it. And, like, obviously there's me, like, applying for jobs, but He gives me the job that I need. He gives me the apartment that I need. And am I grateful for that? Am I loving in the midst of that? Like, God will take care of you. God will bring you where you need. It's not about focusing on where God's bringing you. It's about focusing on being with God in the midst of it, becoming like God. Because genuinely, like, it's hard, like, it's deep. It's a deep thought, so I want to try to over communicate, but, like, it doesn't matter where you are or where you're going. God knows where you need to be, and you need to trust that. You have to trust that, because, faith is something, you believing in something you don't see. Sometimes you're believing for something that you don't even know what it looks like. We don't know what heaven looks like. We're believing that God has something good for us, and we don't know what it looks like, but we trust Him. And how do we trust Him? By obeying His commands, like He says, by communing with Him, worshiping Him, giving Him praise. So many things we could do. Being silent and repenting, and, praying for the fruit of the Spirit, and all these things. Like, so there's so many things. Ultimately, it's just the pursuit of goodness, not the pursuit of riches or success, or even, like, you could pursue something that seems innocent and pure. Like, you could want you could want to end, like, human trafficking, but like your heart is like, I'm doing this because I feel like I have to prove people. Like, what? You can. It's true. It's about the heart. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Your heart is going to be weighed. Your heart, the way you, and it's a mindset, it's habits, it's processes that turn your heart into gold. So it's about that. It's about the process. It's not about what it looks like. It's not about, like I said. So I think I explained it fairly well. And I hope that it hit you, within the 10 minutes. I don't think this was a waste of time. This is a deep, deep thought. And I'd like to just come back here often. It's heavy. Anyway, let me not turn charismatic. I'm not even charismatic, so peace.